Hi, Tom. Thank you very much for joining us today. How are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good, thank you. Excited for our chat. Um,
Yes,
I was hoping you could start by just introducing yourself to the listeners, please.
certainly. I'm one of the founders of Densura. Um, I've been involved in the indemnity industry for about 10 years.
Mhm.
And yeah, so we're very excited to be speaking today and having the opportunity to tell dentists a little bit more about Densura.
I mean, I think a good place to start is at the beginning. So, in about 60 seconds, would you mind telling us a little bit about the history of the company?
Yes, certainly. So we formed a little over 11 years ago as Oasis Indemnity, working with the Oasis Dental Group.
Mhm.
Densura was formed a few years later, and the main focus really was a request from the clinical director at Oasis to bring something to the market that was a little bit different, but
Uh-huh.
also something that was sustainable, cost effective, and had a contract of insurance giving dentists some guarantee of cover.
Perfect. Thank you. So, I mean, you said something a little bit different there. So, what is it that makes you different from other providers?
Um, it's not about reinventing the wheel here. We decided to look at what was out there
Mhm.
and see where we could offer something which, offered similar to what a dentist was used to, but then
Mhm.
actually just add to it. So our main focus was to step away from discretionary indemnity. We
Mhm.
wanted to offer a contractual indemnity policy. We've then backed that up with 12 dentists who work with us. They all have a legal qualification, and the idea is that as a dentist, if you do have an issue and you need to speak to us, within a 2 hour period of getting in touch, you're speaking to a dentist who can help you that's probably been through a similar experience.
Mhm.
And actually, it's about saying to a dentist, you're not the only one.
Yeah.
This is happening to others, and let's get this resolved quickly. Because what we want is for them to get on with being a dentist and not worry about the claims or notifications that are coming in, and as I say, deal with it quickly, efficiently,
Mm.
and ultimately, from my point of view, it's about them understanding that process as well.
Yeah, definitely. I can imagine that a legal territory is a bit daunting at times for dentists. You know, that's not why they went into dentistry. They work with teeth, not the law. So that
Yes, indeed.
reassurance must be welcomed. I can imagine.
Yeah, no, definitely it is. It's that hand holding is what it's all about.
Sure.
There's lots of really interesting parts of an insurance policy that I could bore you for hours on, but actually the fundamentals here are dentists want something which is cost effective,
Mm.
sustainable, and does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
To quote a fence panel painting company, but it really is. And that's just really important because we hope and dentists hope they'll never use their insurance policy.
Of
We
course.
well like we do with our motor or house or anything else. But
Mm.
if you do, you want to make damn sure that it does what it says and gives you the support that you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit more about the claim service you offer then, please?
Yeah, sure. So it's something that we at Densura are super proud of. So we, right from day one, we had dentists involved in the process. As I
Mhm.
mentioned, the clinical director at Oasis at the time, a gentleman called Julian Perry, was integral in getting us up and running and actually coming and being the voice of dentists.
Yeah.
But it was really important that we had dentists speaking to dentists. I've been involved in dentistry for 15, 16 years now, and I probably know more than the average person, but you wouldn't want me pulling teeth. So, it's one of those things that's really important that a dentist gets to speak to a dentist because they can speak their own language. And actually,
Mm.
it just gives them the opportunity to offload on the situation there. And so often we find that the complaints and claims
Mm.
actually relate to it's just a patient being difficult or a patient who hasn't really
Yeah.
understood. So the way it works is you would get in contact with us. We would take a very high level synopsis of the situation that would then reflect on who you best need to speak to. As I said earlier on, we would get you in touch with one of our advisors within 2 hours, but typically dentists, they don't have time in that 2 hours. They tend to be ringing us first thing in the morning or at lunchtime. So we would just arrange a time with them to have a call. That could be in the evening, or we do calls on the weekends on occasions as well. And so then the process there is you go through there, and then you have a dedicated account handler, or dedicated claims handler in effect, or advisor, sorry, not claims handler. So the point being is that dentist is the person that you would talk to throughout the process.
Yes.
So you get to build a relationship with them, and where we've had dentists with the misfortune of had more than one notification during their time with us, they tend to go back to the same advisor again, because obviously they built up that relationship and trust.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I guess it feeds into that theme of reassurance, knowing that you've got a familiar face, a familiar helping hand to guide you through that.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly that. So it's you can talk your own language.
Yeah.
You've built a rapport with that person, and ultimately they're there to support you to move past this unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah, of course. Are there any other services you offer alongside this?
Yes, we do. Yes. So again, one of the things that was really important to me was building out the sort of overall Densura offering. Insurance shouldn't be purely about just the cover. So within being a member, you get access to a CPD platform provided by ProDental. So the idea there is to allow dentists to further their training, but also work on their cycle when it comes to getting their CPD completed.
Yeah.
So we're really pleased with that. And actually, one of the most recent additions, we're giving all of our new business and policy holders this year free access to I Consent You. I Consent You is a digital consent platform, and so it feeds into the patient journey. And the idea is that the patient goes through a digital consenting process, which is a video followed by a question set, giving you that extra layer of protection. When you have that notification come through the door and it says, I didn't understand XYZ, you can go back and say, well, the algorithm shows that you watched this video for the set period of time. You also answered 4 or 5 questions confirming you understood it. So it makes it very difficult for the patient to say that they didn't understand.
Okay.
And then obviously if they answered the questions wrong, you can then further educate them before moving forward with the procedure. So yeah, we're really proud with that.
Yeah, no, that sounds like an amazing addition to a practice. So I'm sure people would be interested in that.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think the final question and one that might be on watchers' minds is, how would they go about getting a quote?
So again, another thing I'm really conscious of. I buy insurances myself, and there's nothing worse than a lengthy process. So basically, the process is log on to densura.com. Right top right hand corner, there's an apply button, and then there's a short question set. So what we're looking for is some basic details about who you are. Obviously goes into some detail around what in dentistry you're practicing, and then there's a couple of yes and no questions which are all to do with sort of claims and risk management. So it takes about 5 to 10 minutes depending how quick you are at typing, so really not a lengthy process. And once you click submit, it goes sent through to our dedicated team. They just make sure that the system has done its bit and underwritten the risk correctly, make sure that we're happy with the quotation that has put together, and then you'd get an email to log into our portal where all the information is saved. And the nice thing about that is, moving forward, if you do choose to proceed with Densura, you have a nice central portal where all of your documents are. So should you need them for GDC registration or for a practice manager, for example, you can log on and they're all there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for answering all of my questions today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's brilliant. I mean, hopefully that gives you a nice overview of what we are. I obviously appreciate there's a whole load more that I could go into, but we could be here for a very long time. But I think my real message to dentists is, I know that there's a real underlying fear of leaving the defence organisations. That's something that they've known since university. But I said, appreciate we haven't been going for 100 years. Our insurer that sits behind us has been going for 300 years. So we have, we've got some legs. But I say the real key is just come and give us a go. Come and have a chat. We've got a team that can come out to your practice to meet you in person. But yeah, just come and investigate for the sake of filling out a form for 10 minutes. It may be something that you really look forward to, or not look forward to, but something which will make a step change in what you're doing. And I do think actually the thing with Densura is we like to be proactive rather than reactive. And what I mean by that is we want to help with CPD, with training. When we find something else interesting about the industry, we put it out to our members to let them know. So it's we want to be a friend. We want to be by your side. We don't just want to be seen as just an insurer that you may or may not use at some point.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
No problem at all.